Umutungwa twalipoka muchalo chesu icha Zambia nomamune wemina Zambia wishitishe chalo ngawa mono mwani aisa nolukiyo renge ikokola umuseveni wemwine wachalo umutungwa uwa Zambia natusunge ichalo chesu weutekoni wemwine wachalo bantunga washitishe chalo ukepaisha bantu Kanjimune uchenjele kulia baba mwisa Abale fayo ukona ula ichalo chesu mama alamune ukosefye Chifya walwani uchalo chesu Thank you, Joseph Chimba, for joining in. Musonda Chanda. Mwansa Mwape, thank you for joining in. Elvis Shaka. Elvis J. Shaka, Sanford, Siampongo, Mwani Aisa, Nolupio Rengi, Winokola, Umuseve, Memwine Wachalo, Mama, Umutungwa, Uwa Zambia, Natusunge. Good evening. Here it's morning actually. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad to be here. And this evening, I want us to talk about. Mostly, I'm weighing in on the. On Parliament, the courts, and ECZ, but my center one, my main concentration is on the judiciary. That is my concentration. My concentration is more on the judiciary, but of course I will touch on Parliament. I will also touch on ECZ. Now, first things first. I want to emphasize that there are a number of people that want to call me and talk about this and that, but I want to plead with you that please, I know when you see a person like this every day, especially those of you that follow me, you feel, yes, you know a person, and sometimes you want to pick a phone call and start having a conversation. To be honest with you, I don't want to pretend. I am in no mood for some personal interaction. I am in no mood. I am really in no mood. And I think you can understand me. I mean, much as I am comfortable where I am, but really, home is home. Much as I am comfortable where I am, but home is home. I miss home. I want to be home. And, you know, when you are in this state of mind, you are not very good in terms of, you know, sustaining a conversation, or emotional, if I could put it that way, generally. You are not very good. So those of you who are calling me, yes, you have my number, and you're calling me, how are you, what? Those phone calls, please, Napapat, spare me for now. I am usually here. Let us not pretend. I am usually on social media. Nganalwala, I'll tell you I'm sick. I will tell you I'm sick. So I find it a waste of time to be calling me and asking me how are you. You know I am okay. Even when you are calling, you know I am okay. So if you want to get in touch with me under these circumstances that I am in, you are either talking about something that is important, something that you want me to maybe to bring out here. I am very much welcoming issues relating to our nation, issues that will help the cause that we are in, not chit chats, nakana na papata. Spare me, because I know some of you are already feeling like I'm a rude person, because really, I mean, those conversations that some of you are bringing up, please spare me those conversations. Don't call me. No, I just wanted to find out from you. No, come on, please spare me. The time will come for that. Not now. Not now. Na papat. So yes, you have my phone number. Please don't call me, because you know, people are looking for me. People are looking for me, so I don't know who is who. So if you're going to call me and you start chit-chatting, I mean, I'm wondering, who is this person? What is the interest? At the moment, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone at the moment, not even my wife. I don't. At the moment, not even my wife. I don't trust anyone. So, this is not a time for you to be friendly, you know, whatever. Because I just don't know who it is. To me, just you know, to find out where is he and whatever. And I'm not interested in those kind of talks. I'm not interested. Talk to me about issues, to say, oh, this, oh, you know, there is this issue, what. If you send me a text message, go straight to the point. Don't start saying hi and you're waiting for me to start responding and then you start talking. Just go ahead. Oh, Mr. Tayali, there is this issue, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be able to follow it up. I am reading all the messages. I am taking phone calls, especially on WhatsApp, because anyway, inevitably, you can't call me directly. Where I am, there is no, our local network is not there. So you can only reach me on WhatsApp. So I am available. I'm receiving phone calls. I'm receiving text messages. But just when you call me, don't bring in petty talks. I am not interested in petty talks at this point in time. So I thought I should mention that. And the number that I usually use for direct talk, that number, usually I don't usually talk on it. But anyway, people are sending me messages on it. I think I'm taking it. Anyway, I'll just leave that aside. But now, let me get to the issues that I want to discuss. And I want to first and foremost make this point. My talk here are not personal. I don't come here to scandalize people. I don't come here to defame people. I don't come here, you know, just to be malicious. No, it's not my point. It's not my point. The people that I talk about, when I talk about you and I'm talking about your name, it is because you hold an important office in our country. That is why I would mention your name. So it is not personal. I don't discuss your wives. I don't discuss who you sleep with. I don't discuss, you know, no, I discuss or I mention, I call out names based on, you know, the offices that you hold. So that is the first thing. So let us not, you know, tend to be all emotional, you know, and take things personal. No, I am talking about you because of the offices that you hold. When I mention people like Gilbert Perry, it is because of the office that he holds. Come on, the dude holds a very important office as DPP, Director of Public Prosecution. I mean, this guy is huge. So we have to talk about him. When I talk about Mumba Malila, I mean, the man, he is the Chief Justice, for goodness sake. He's a Chief Justice. We need to talk about him. When I mentioned Bamaeva Neri Muti, who I like so much, Baneri Muti na libatemwa chupa fe nokula balanda po, really. Baneri Muti na libatemwa fe, but you know, I mean, what can I do? She is the Speaker of the National Assembly, and unfortunately, she's not doing very well. So we need to talk about that. Then, could you moyo, yeah, pali moyo pena, kutuma mbela kono luse, kutina wako na a little bit personal kwa moyo alikuwa tina kwa temiera na pena. Moyo, ish, that man. I will play one of the videos so that you see. Now, let me start by saying, you see, what I'm doing here, so in all these things that I'm doing it for the good of our country. My fight is not for me. It's not for me. My fight is not for me. I am an ingenious person. I'm an ingenious person, an entrepreneur who have done very well away from politics. Before I went into politics, I was doing business, and my business succeeded. A number of people watching here, they worked for me. A number of people that are watching here, they have worked for me. I ran a successful company, Chilufya Computer Solutions. It was very successful. We did very well. Of course, we didn't make so much money, but we were living. My children have been going to private school. I have been managing to pay for my children to go to school. We did fairly well. From there, I formed NGOs, the NGO Zambian Voice. No one was sponsoring Zambian Voice. I was funding Zambian Voice using my company. Until finally, I joined the politics. Basically, what I'm telling you is that I'm not a guy that would fail to sustain myself. I have gone into politics and start going through these challenges that I'm going through at the moment because I love my country. I am a patriot. And I want a good future for my country. I want Zambia to be better. I'm feeling very bad, in some of these places that I've passed. Since I left home, I've been to 3 countries now so far. 3 countries, and I'm feeling, 4 actually. I'm feeling very bad seeing how some of these countries have developed. And some of these countries were nothing just a few years back, but they have developed. How there is so much order, how the governance is so good. And I'm saying, why can't we do it in Zambia? It pains me to have the situation, the status quo as we have it in Zambia. It really hurt me. And this is why I'm talking. But some people, you are so emotional, you are indoctrinated, you don't want to question, you don't want to reason. And my brothers and sisters, for tonight, I'm asking you to say, please, put on your thinking, your critical thinking. Put it on, switch it on, and listen to my arguments. And afterwards, when I'm done with talking, you can call me and engage me on a reasonable platform, not emotions. Reason. Look, our for a country to be called a country, it must have a constitution. It must have a constitution, and it must have the institutions of government. That is how you can call a state is a state, because it has a constitution and it has the institutions of governance. That's what makes a state. That is what makes a state, is whereby there is a constitution which everyone follows, and there are institutions of government. The moment you suspend the law, like one of my regular callers said yesterday, if you suspend the constitution, then that state is sliding into something else, and you won't call it democracy. It won't be a state anymore. And Zambia is risking going into a stateless nation. A stateless nation, meaning a country which doesn't have a constitution. Because yes, the constitution is there, but if you are not respecting the constitution, then that state is not a state. and you're just following what one man says. That is autocracy. And Zambia is going into autocracy because we are suspending the constitution. We just want to hear what Hakainde Hichilema has to say. And everyone else, those who are in the institutions of government, they just want to follow what Hakainde Hichilema says. There is no checks and balances. The fundamental pillars of our government is in the checks and balances that is bestowed in the institutions of government. If there is no checks and balances, I mean, that is not democracy. And this is what we are having. We are having people who are supposed to offer checks and balances on the executive, aligning themselves to the executive, aligning themselves to the president. We have people that are supposed to hold the institutions of government, who are supposed to uphold the constitution. They are aligning themselves with the president. So the president is becoming the alpha and omega. And that is not a democracy. That is a stateless nation. That is an autocratic nation. And whether you don't want to see it, but it is there. It is there. Look at Parliament, for example. Parliament is really the speakers, because Parliament, when I talk about Parliament, I'm talking about the speakers. The speakers, the first, second, and the third speaker. These, you can see how much they are trying so hard to align themselves to the executive, to align themselves to the president. At the moment, there is a debate which is currently going on in Parliament, and this debate in Parliament is about, you know, what the president said, you know, what the president said when he went to Parliament on values and principles. This is the debate that is currently going on. So people, members of Parliament, are responding responding to what the president said. Some of them are agreeing with him to say, okay, here he did well. But others are saying, no, here is not doing well. And that is how it should be. There should be checks and balances. But look what is happening in Parliament. Look what is happening in Parliament. Today, I just watched a clip where Binwe Mpundu was trying to debate. And you can see how the speaker, this Moyo, was trying to curtail Binwe Mpundu from talking. He was, Moyo was debating from the seat of the speaker. He was debating from the seat of the speaker. And Moyo cannot even debate. Moyo can't debate. Moyo thinks that he knows nothing. He knows anything. Moyo doesn't. Moyo is a very down man. Moyo is a very down man. He's a very down man, Moyo. He's very down. That man is down. But look, he's trying to think that he can debate. Moyo, you can't debate. You can't debate, Moyo. You don't have what it takes to debate. You don't have what it takes to debate. But you are trying to debate. What are you debating? You know nothing. You know nothing. You know nothing. And look, when I'm talking like this, some of you might say, no, you are getting sensational. I'm not getting sensational. I will show you. Let me show you the debate, what Moyo did today when Binwo was trying to debate. Let me show you. You listen very. I want you to. I'm appealing to your reason.
The honorable member from Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the President came to address this Parliament on the progress that government has made in the application of values and principles. I would like to be as simple as I can be. Let me start with perhaps defining these two terminologies. Values, Mr. Speaker, refers to beliefs that motivates the way people behave. Principles, on the other hand, Mr. Speaker, is a set of rules that governs our behavior. Some time back, in memory, I'll restrict myself, Mr. Speaker, on account of time, to... We agreed as a people that we shall be governed by a particular set of principles and values. And these do not exist in abstract. They are coined down in the Constitution in Article 8. The constitutionalism, Mr. Speaker, refers to the adherence to the constitutional system of governance. What this Parliament was expecting, Mr. Speaker, on page 9, as the President addressed us, was to speak to the strides that government has made, particularly in the promotion and defending of the rights and freedoms of people. Mr. Speaker, when we speak to the freedoms, freedom to associate, freedom to assemble, these are fundamental freedoms that the President should have spoken to as what government has done in the promotion of those very important freedoms. The UPND government, Mr. Speaker, goes down in history to have done the opposite in regards to the promotion of these freedoms. To over 2.5 years, Mr. Speaker, the freedom of people to assemble has been stepped on. No political grouping has been able to assemble in over 2 years, Mr. Speaker. This is contrary to what the UPND used to lament about when they were in the opposition. This country would have expected that the UPND would have done something different. The freedom to associate, Mr. Speaker, vests in the registrar of society, because when people decide to assemble, they will go and register an entity, be it a political party, an association, or otherwise. Today, Mr. Speaker, for the very first time in the history of this country, the office of the registrar has been reduced to a circus.
Honorable member.
Listen to that.
Honorable member.
See that. What has he done? What has he done for him to intervene?
Honorable member, for which constituency?
Look at that, this man. This is Moyo. At a speaker,
you know,
honestly. Listen to him now.
We all know the rules of the House.
Imagine.
You don't have the right to bring
Listen to
the
that.
office of the registrar to disrepute without evidence whatsoever.
Imagine. Look at that.
Whatever allegations that you are alleging, you should be able to substantiate. You can't say the office of registrar has been brought to disrepute without any evidence, just the assertions. You don't do that. And it's disappointing that some of you that are busy haggling around are people that have been here much longer. It's disappointing. You know that in this house, we talk with verified facts.
This man.
You can't just wake up and say the office has been reduced. Against what? What evidence do you have?
He's debating.
So let's
he can't even debate
making
properly.
such kind of debate. Let's talk from a verified point of view. You can proceed, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, not long ago, this country was entertained to the happening in the Registrar of Society regarding the happening in the Patriotic Front, where the Registrar of Society had to be removed from office over the happenings in regards to the PF. Today, Mr. Speaker, reports are that our friends who are sitting...
Honorable Member, I've guided you.
Listen. He asked for facts,
I've guided you that when
and
talking,
he's
you
trying to
should
give
have
him.
facts.
Look, but he's giving him facts.
You don't have facts whatsoever why whoever was removed from the office and on what ground.
Imagine. He's
You're not
debating.
appointing authority, neither are you, the registrar was reporting to you. Let's talk from an informed point of view. Let's
That is an
avoid
informed
making
position.
assertions that you can't substantiate. I've guided you.
He's even getting
You
upset.
don't
Look
have
at him.
mandate whatsoever to know who transfers who to what.
He's debating.
So don't talk about things that you can't, you don't have, you've got very little information about them.
How does he know that he has got very little, in fact?
Mr. Speaker, the President should have come to address this Parliament on the progress that has been made in regards to the protection and promotions of the rights and freedoms of people. Mr. Speaker, the freedom to express ourselves is enshrined in our Constitution. Today, it is on record. A lot of Zambians have been treated like second-class citizens for merely expressing divergent views. It is on record, Mr. Speaker, to an extent where, Mr. Speaker, as we speak today, the government through the Ministry of Information is amending the law, the IBA Act, to gag people from even speaking, communicating through social platforms. It's fact. Constitutionalism, Mr. Speaker. Two principles of constitutionalism. Number one, separation of power. Separation of power refers to the independence and autonomy of the three arms of government as well as governance institutions. There are critical governance institutions like the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Every citizen has a right to be appointed, but citizens that are politically connected cannot be and should never be appointed to institutions like the Electoral Commission of Zambia, because it compromises the integrity of the elections in that institution. It is on record, Mr. Speaker, and an outcry recorded that individuals that are politically connected were appointed to lead the Electoral Commission of Zambia. The results have been very glaring bad. To an extent, Mr. Speaker, that the Constitutional Court, in one instance, rules saying this person and that person is eligible to contest in an election. The case of Honorable Joe Malanji and Bowman, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, because of being aided by cadres, goes and overrules the Constitutional Court.
Honorable member, I've guided you.
Listen to him now.
I've guided you. I've guided you. You know, what you are supposed to concentrate on is the presidential speech. That making these assertions that you are trying to do to gain political mileage. Presidential
where